Okay, I'm going to do a reading today about the current situation, what we need to know about what's happening in the cosmos and on Earth. Okay, the first card that comes out is Reference. Okay, what I see is a fish trapped in a bottle of water. Right, there may be some plants or seaweeds. Okay, so energetically, I feel that humans are being trapped in the bottle, right? Because there's a lot of earth shifting, pole shifts that's happening, and there's also robotics, AI, artificial intelligence that is hijacking our human body. Right, so this is actually trapping us. We feel that we are being drowned in this bottle of waters, and also we feel that we are not able to speak up. Right, our voice is trapped like in a bottle. Right, so energetically, we need to lift our body out of the bottle. All right, so visualize your body like jumping out from the bottle of waters, and also all these contaminants in the sea. And there's also like a canvas, right? Paints, brushes, ink cartridges. So there's some kind of manipulations done by the gang stalkers who are actually using all this technology. Right, they are using a lot of patents and publications that are visualizing that they are painting in the sky. Right, they're painting those clouds with all these cartridges, ink. Right, so that's why they mess up with the world, using all these patents and publications by visualizing or drawing clouds, or some those clouds that look like dogs, or animals, dragons, whatever not. All right, so they're leaving a lot of impressions in the skies. Right, these are like canvas drawings in the sky. So this is what is happening in the ethereal, where such things happen. They're trying to create stories out of the sky, right? Messing with the sky. All this happen because CERN is in operation. Right, it causes people to be confused, and because of the acceleration of the particles, right, this can cause our mind to be overworked. Right, it can overthink, and then they tend to overreact. All right, so during this time there are a lot of people that go out of control. Right, their mind is out of control. Right, there's a lot of like volcano eruptions. There's a lot of fires happening in the world. That's why they are quite confused. Right, there's a lot of fire, right, caused by some of the energetics like microwaves that created a lot of fires. Right, maybe the electric cars that also causes explosions, or oil, diesel that like spills into the surface of Earth that causes explosions. Alright, so there's a lot of collisions, car accidents, and also humans, fighting, the wars. Yeah, so right, so there's a lot of like quarrels among people, fighting. Yeah, so there's a lot of like fiery energies, right, caused by all these energetics in CERN, and when the machinery is in operation. Right, so then there's another part in Middle East where there's a lot of learning that they need to do. They need to look at religion and spirituality in a different light, right? Because they have been indoctrinated with religions for a long time. They are still very much into the matrix. All right, so what the matrix is really about measurements, right? Like what Freemasons, right? Freemasonry, right? They talk about measurements. Every piece of furniture, every square feet, right, is a measurement, right? They measure things very precisely, right? They are very meticulous. So the more we have the more furnitures we have in our house, the more the matrix is, right? That means there are more things with mathematical implications. Every piece of furniture has measurements, right? It's like a matrix. The more things we have in our house, the more complex it is. Whenever we move house, right? Let's say we move to another place, we have to throw some of the old things away, so that we don't have so many things to move, right? Otherwise it's really a lot of curtains, right? So when we downsize, right, there's lesser things. Things are more simple, less complex. So energetically it's like clearing all the clutters, right? It is making life more simple, right? More spiritual, right? The more things we have, it's like more control mechanisms, right? Every single item is being barcoded, right? Whenever you purchase from shops or stores, everything is barcoded. All these are matrices, right? So all these barcodes can be a control mechanisms. All right, all these QR codes and barcodes, they are control mechanisms. They are digitized, right? All numbers are digitized, right? All these are part of the matrix, right? Numbers are matrices. So they have to learn to look at things in a different light, in terms of what is religion, what is spirituality. Okay, so yeah, in the past, okay, like okay, you see in this picture there's a mosque, right? It looks like a palace, right? Last time, all these places are palaces, right? There's kings or queens, right, in the palaces. All these people are like royalties. In Muslim cultures, in olden times, all these people, the women are very much controlled. They have to wear the hijab. So these are like the men control the women a lot, and the women are suppressed in the home. They're supposed to be taking care of the family, right? They don't really work. All right, they are more of the dutiful wives, right? This is a kind of ancient culture that may despise women, in a sense. They're more of toxic masculine, right? So what men needs to learn is to respect women. Okay, so what happens in the spiritual realm is that the divine feminine, okay, the divine mother, actually energetically she became divine father, right? Because there's a lot of toxicities, so much so that she even forgot who she is. She rose up to take over the position of divine father for a long time, for like 400,000 years ago, right? Because there's a lot of corruption, probably because of alcohol that causes amnesia, and I'm not sure whether is it divine father or divine mother or both. Maybe they took alcohol in such a way that they forgot their gender, or so there could be some confusion in terms of their gender. So, when Divine Mother is, drunken, right, she took over the positions of a Divine Father, right, to take care of a lot of matters, right? There could be some energetic imbalance. Maybe Divine Father have been overworked until he got sick, so she took over the duties to take care of looking after the children, right, the entire cosmos, right? So that's why there's some mistaken gender, right? So that's part of the rise of the Divine Feminine, so much so that becomes imbalance. That's why the twin flames are unable to find each other and be in union. So this is why even Divine Father diminished so much of the energies because of the wars, right, between all the star systems, right, in Orion. There's a lot of toxic masculine energies in Orion, right, for a long time, for millions of years. So now they recovered, okay, or discover that this is what happens to the gender, all right, of the imbalances between the two divine counterparts, Divine Father and Mother, all right, our divine parents. So they have just recently, okay, swap back, right, the gender and correct all the energetics. Hopefully, okay, we can correct all the gender imbalances, okay. So this is what happens. So energetically also, because our souls, some of our souls also experience the same thing. Our soul feels like we are more masculine in feminine bodies, and the male souls in or rather, okay, vice versa, right? In a man, there's like female soul. So some of the men feel like they're not masculine enough, right? It's like effeminate, or like there's gender imbalance.
Dear readers,
Right, so this is what happens.